Good afternoon. Hindi nadidinig. Di ba nadidinig?
Naririnig po, ma'am.
Nadidinig pala eh. Ba't ayaw niyo sumagot agad? Nakakatamad sumagot. Problem number 4, page 378. The accounting for byproducts. So the byproduct, the accounting for byproduct o the net revenue from the byproduct, yung sales minus selling costs, may be treated as an additional sales revenue. So added sa sales ng main product or as a deduction from the cost of goods sold of the main product or treated as other income. So kung yan ay idadagdag sa other revenue, sa sales revenue ng main product, gagawa ng statement, requirement number 1. So the total sales, 18,000 pounds at 10 pesos ay 180,000. Add the revenue from byproduct, which is 1,000 pounds at 1 peso. 1,000. So the total revenue, 181,000. The cost of sales of the main product, the total manufacturing costs, i-add yung materials, labor, and overhead, total is 64,800, divided by production of 20,000 pounds, cost per pound is 3.24. Multiplied by 18,000 pounds sold, so cost of sales is 58,320. So deduct from total sales revenue of 181,000, the gross margin is 122,680. And then deduct selling and administrative costs, 30% daw of the revenue of the main product. So 180,000 times 30% ay 54,000. So the net income under this method is 68,680. If treated as a deduction from cost of sales, the sales amount would be the selling price of the main product only. So that is 180,000. Now less cost of sales. So again, cost of sales doon sa first method ay 58,320 for the main product. Deduct now the revenue from the byproduct of 1,000. So net cost of sales, 57,320. To get the gross profit, 180,000 divided by 57,320, you get gross profit of 122,680. So note that the same amount of gross profit is arrived at using the two methods. So pareho lang ang magiging gross profit o gross margin. Deduct selling and administrative expenses, again 54,000. So net income 68,680. If treated as other income, paano ang statement? So sales 180,000, walang addition. Cost 58,320, walang deduction, no. So gross profit 121,680. It is lower by 1,000, which is the selling price of sales revenue from the byproduct. Mas liliit kasi walang idinagdag sa sales o walang ibinawa sa cost. No? Less expenses, selling and administrative, 54,000. So gross margin ay mas mababa. No? 67,680. Ay, sorry, the net income o operating income ang tawag dyan, ha? If you deduct selling and administrative expenses from gross profit, operating income ang tawag. So it is lower by 1,000. And then add revenue from byproduct, 1,000, which is treated as other income. You get the same amount of net income. Okay, next. Problem number 5. Yung problem number 5, if the revenue from the byproduct is treated as a deduction from the joint processing cost. Now, using the reversal cost method. Paano reversal cost method? Ang unang step is to determine how much is the share in the revenue or in the joint cost of the byproducts. Ano? Share in the joint costs. Paano kinocompute ang share in the joint costs ng byproducts using the reversal cost method? Deduct from the sales revenue, the manufacturing cost after separation, the marketing and administrative expenses, and the desired profit. So for product A, desired profit is 15%. That is 15% of the sales. Ano? And for product B is 12%. So magkano ang share in joint cost ni byproduct A? 6,000 sales revenue minus 1,100 marketing and administrative expense minus 750, ano pala i-deduct? Minus manufacturing cost after separation o yung tinatawag na separable cost, 1,100. Deduct also marketing and administrative expenses, 750. And the desired profit. 15% of 6,000 is 900. So you arrive at the net amount of 3,250. The share in the joint cost of byproduct A. So yun. For byproduct B, sales revenue is 3,500. Deduct separable cost or manufacturing cost after separation, 900. Marketing and administrative expense, 500. And the desired profit, 12% of 3,500 is 420. So share in joint cost, 1,680. Next step is to determine the total cost or product costs of main product and byproducts A and B. So sa share in joint cost of 37,500, no, manufacturing cost before separation, yun ang joint cost. Kung ibabawas yung 3,250 na share ni byproduct A at 1,680 na share ni byproduct B, ang share ni main product ay 32,570. Ano? And then, add separable cost for main product, 11,500. So the total product cost of the main product is 44,070. For byproduct A, share in joint cost, 3,250 plus 1,100 separable cost. Total product cost ni byproduct A, 4,350. For byproduct B, share in joint cost, 1,680 plus separable cost of 900. Total product cost, 2,580. So we can now determine the net income, no, net income. Number 2, requirement. So for main product, sales revenue, 75,000, less cost of goods sold, 44,070. Gross margin is 30,930. Less selling and administrative expenses, 6,000. Net income from sale of main product is 24,920. 20 or 30? 30, ano? 24,930. For byproduct A, sales 6,000. Total product cost 4,350. Gross margin is 1,650. Less selling and administrative expenses of 750. So gross net income is 900. So tatama siya doon sa kinompute na profit na 15% of the sales, 900. For byproduct B, sales is 3,500. Less product cost 2,580. Gross margin is 920. Less marketing and administrative expenses of 500. So net profit or net income 420, which is equal to the desired profit used in computing the share in joint cost. May tanong ba doon? Kung walang tanong, tuloy tayo sa problem number 12. Problem number 12. Page 382. Sa problem number 12, cocoa beans ang raw materials, no? At ang produce ay cocoa butter, cocoa powder, and cocoa shells. For every 100 pounds sack of cocoa beans, ang lumalabas ay 20 pounds of butter, 45 pounds of powder, and 35 pounds of shell. Now, the butter must be molded and packed before it can be sold. No, hindi mo na pwede ibenta yun. Ang ganun lang, kailangan nakabalot. So, may further processing cost siya na 1.50 per pound. And then the selling price is 12.50 per pound. The powder can be sold for 9 pesos per pound at the split-off point. The shells, which are considered a byproduct, sell for 40 centavos per pound. The company estimates net realizable value at the split-off point if no market price is available at that point. The cost of the cocoa beans is 1,500 per 100 pounds. It costs 3,700 in labor and overhead to process each 100 pounds of beans up to the split-off point. So magkano ang total processing cost o joint processing cost sa problem na to? Magkano ang joint processing costs? No, wala nakadinig. Visit na mga ito. Wala ba nakakadinig? Sarado ko na, hindi nyo rin naman nadidinig. Wala nakakadinig sa question? Magkano ang total joint cost sa problem na to?
1,500 po.
Bakit? Ay materials lang yun. Ay paano yung conversion costs? O labor and overhead? Lalabas ba ng butter, powder, at shell yung beans kung walang processing?
5,200 po, ma'am.
5,200. 5,200 lahat-lahat, Requirement number 1, assume that the shells are recorded as other income at the time they are sold. Compute the allocated joint cost of the butter and powder produced from 100 pounds of cocoa beans using the net realizable value method. So, ang lumalabas sa butter ay 20 pounds. Pagka pinrocess pa siya, ay may 150 per pound. And then, the selling price is 12.50. So, magkano yung total net realizable value ng butter? 12.50 minus 150 is 11 times 20 pounds. No, magkano? 220. Si powder, 45 pounds ang lumalabas, the selling price is 9. O, magkano yun?
405 po.
105, total net realizable value is 625. So, to allocate the joint cost of 5,700, for butter, that would be 220 divided by 625 times 5,200 or 1,830. No. So the rest, the remaining would be for powder, which is 3,370. No. Number 2, assuming that the shells are recorded as other income at the time they are sold, compute the allocated joint cost of the butter and powder produced from each 100 pounds of cocoa beans using the physical quantities method. Or using the physical quantities, ano ang unang kino-compute? The average unit cost. How do you compute the average unit cost? Total processing cost or joint cost, 5,200. Ilang pounds ang lumabas kay butter? 20. Kay powder ay 45. Total of 65. So 5,200 divided by 65, the average cost is 80 per pound. So for butter, that would be 80 times 20 or 1,600. And then for powder, 45 times 80 or 3,600. If the net realizable value of the shell is entered as a credit to the primary manufacturing cost at the time the shells are recovered, and if the net realizable value method is used for joint cost allocation, what would be the allocation of the joint cost to the main products? So magkano ba ang magiging sales value ng shell? 35 pounds times 40 centavos ay 14 pesos. Deduct from the joint processing cost of 5,200. The net amount to be allocated between butter and powder ay 5,186. No. Again, use the net realizable value na ginamit sa requirement letter A, 220 for butter and 405 for powder. So for butter, 220 divided by 625 times 5,186. And then for powder, 405 divided by 625 times 5,186. O magkano ang allocated cost kay butter?
1,825.
And then for powder,
3,361.
okay, 3,361. Will you able to solve number 10 doon sa page 389? Were you able to solve number 10 sa page 389? Yes or no lang ang sagot. Di pa makasagot. Yes or no? Marianong garapon. Na-solve nyo ba? Kung hindi nyo na-solve, no ang sagot. Kung na-solve nyo, yes. Na-solve ba? Number 10.
Okay.
Hindi. Ang dali-dali sumagot, di ba? Hindi. Nako, Diyos ko. Pag tayo ay nag-face-to-face. Mariano. Next time, face-to-face na. Magkikita tayo face to face kung tutuloy kayo sa accountancy, ha? Okay, doon muna tayo sa page 387, numbers 4 and 5. Numbers 4 and 5. Kung natatandaan niyo yung ginawa natin sa problem number 4, madali lang sagutin to, ha? 4 and 5, yam is a byproduct. Its product costs 1 peso. Sells for 1 peso. No. There are 100,000 units, so that is a total of 100,000 in revenue. But my selling cost na 10 centavos per unit, so 10 centavos times 100,000 ay 10,000. So the net revenue from the byproduct, yam is 90,000. O kung natatandaan niyo yung ginawa sa problem number 4, ang accounting daw for the byproduct na yam ay, anong ginagawa? Deducting the separable cost from the sales. And then, yung 10,000, the separable cost, yung 10,000, selling cost yun. And then, deducting the net amount from the cost of goods sold of the major products. Now, if the method is changed to adding the net amount of 90,000 to the sales revenue of the main product, anong effect sa gross margin?
No effect po.
No effect kasi pareho pa rin ang lalabas na gross margin. No, katulad ng problem number 4. So number 5, if the 90,000 is shown as other income, what will be the effect to the gross margin? Tignan niyo yung accounting sa number 4, sa problem number 4. Yung pangatlo, as other income, ano nangyari sa gross margin? Tumaas ba, bumaba ba, o walang effect? Pareho pa rin.
Decrease by 90,000 po.
Okay, decrease by 90,000, no? Kasi walang madadagdag sa sales o walang mababawas sa cost of sales. So, decrease by 90,000 yung gross margin. Mapupunta siya sa baba ng operating income. Pareho pa rin ang magiging net income. O problem number 10. Ang problem number 10 sa page 389, no. Kung hindi nyo na-solve ito, kasi ang unang dapat i-compute dito ay number of units. Ang given kasi dito ay 2,900 units lang, the total. And then, tatlong products niyan, product 1, product 2, and product 3. The joint cost ay 52,500. Product number 1, ay may additional processing kasi hindi daw siya marketable at split off. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa siya mabenta. So, additional processing cost is 15,000. The unit selling price after it is processed further is 30 per unit. Product number 2 can be sold for 15 pesos per unit at split off. But management prefers to utilize available space in performing an additional process at a cost of 18,000, which increases the price of the final product to 40 pesos. Product number 3 is usually sold as split off at 50 per unit. So there are 2,900 units all in all. Iko-compute natin kung ilan yung para kay product 1, kay product 2, at kay product 3. So, ang equation na ginawa, number 1 is exceeded number 2 by 300 units. Now, number 3 exceeded number 1 by 200. So, ano yung 100% dyan? Si product 2, no? So, kung gagamitin natin yan ng algebra, ng equation, product number 2 is X. Product number 1 is X plus 300. No, kasi mas mataas siya by 300 by product number 2. Product number 3 would be x plus 300, which is number 1, plus 200. No. So the equation x plus 300 plus x plus 300 plus 200 is equal to 2,900. X, ilalagay natin sa kaliwa, that would be 3x, tatlong x, and then ililipat yung figure, so yung number sa kanan, that would be 2,900 minus 300 minus 300 minus 200. So 3x is equal to 2,100. X or product 2 is equal to 700. And then product 1 would be 700 plus 300 or 1,000. And then product number 3, 1,000, product number 1 plus 200, 1,200. No, so yun yung number of units. What method will be used in this problem? Hindi given kung anong method ang gagamitin. Kung net realizable value at split off or net realizable value after the products are processed further. So, nung ginawa ko yan, the resulting figures ay yung using the sales value of product 1 after it is processed further. No, kasi hindi naman siya pwedeng ibenta pagka lumabas siya at split off. So, the sales value of product 1 after further processing is 30 times 1,000 units. That would be 30,000. No. Minus 15,000 further processing costs. The net sales value niya ay 15,000. Product number 2 can be sold as split off. So 15 pesos per unit times 700. Total sales value is 10,500. Product number 3 is 50 per unit times 1,200, 60,000. The total net sales value, 15,000 for product 1, 10,500 for product 2, and 60,000 for product 3. That is a total of 85,500. So, ang tinatanong lang naman ay si product 1. So, 15,000 divided by 85,500 multiplied by the joint processing cost of 52,500. So, magkano ang allocated cost kay product 1? Ay. Compute. Magkano ang allocated cost kay product 1?
9,211 po.
Okay, 9,211. So pag walang given walang given na method to be used or the basis of allocating joint cost, isa-isahin nyo, ha? So dito, ang una kong ginawa, the saleable amount, si product 1 lang ay ipaprocess. And then, products 2 and 3, sales value at split off. Kasi pwede naman na silang ibenta after lumabas sila from joint processing. If we have discussed number 17, pareho din yan yung number 18, ha? Sa number 18, nawala lang yung, nangalahati yung figures. Kaya tingnan natin yung number 18, ha? Page 392. Chem Manufacturing Company processes direct materials up to the split-off point where two products, X and Y, are obtained and sold. The following information was collected. So direct materials process 10,000 gallons. The yield is 9,500 gallons of good products and 500 gallons of shrinkage. So kung nawala na yung 500 gallons due to shrinkage, that is a normal production loss, normal to the process. So paano ang magiging hatian ni products as And why? Doon lang sa kalalabasang 9,500 gallons. Si X ay 5,000, si Y ay 4,500. No. Given ang number of units sold o gallons sold. For X, 4,750. For Y, 4,000. The cost of purchasing the 10,000 gallons ay 975,000. The beginning inventories total 50 gallons of X and 25 gallons of Y. So, finished goods inventories yun, ha? Ending inventory amounts reflected 300 gallons of X and 525 gallons of Y. January costs per unit were the same as February. Tignan nga natin kung tatama. Beginning inventory for X ay 50 plus production of 5,000 minus 300. So tama naman ang sales ay 4,750 gallons. Ano? Kay Y naman, beginning inventory ay 25 plus 4,500 production during the month minus 525 ending inventory. So, 4,000 gallons na nabenta. Ano ang tinatanong? Using the physical volume method in allocating joint costs, compute for product X approximate production cost per unit and approximate amount of joint cost in product-wise ending inventory. O, sino pwede? Using physical volume method in allocating joint costs. Paano go-compute ang joint cost? You divide 975,000 by how many units? 10,000 gallons ba o 9,500?
9,500.
Okay, so 975,000 divided by 9,500. Magkano ngayon yung average unit cost or production cost per unit?
102.63.
Okay, 102.63. And then the approximate amount of joint cost in the ending inventory of product Y. Ilan bang ending inventory ni product Y? 525. Pareho lang naman daw ang cost ng January sa February. Ano? O, magkano ang cost ng ending inventory?
53,886 po.
Okay. So, 53,886. Anong ginawa nyo? 102.63 times 525? Kasi
100.
yan lalabas. 53,881 lang ano? No. Tama? 53,881. Kaya lang, wala naman sa choices. Ano? Baka naman na mali lang. Okay, next. Donna Corporation, tsaka yun ang katapat ni 102.63. No. Kaya, letter B. Donna Corporation manufactures products, vodka and that from a joint process. The total cost is 250,000. So, given ang quantity produced, the processing cost after split off, and the ultimate sales value. What is the total production cost for the three products using the market value method? O anong gagawin natin? Una, pag sinabing total production cost, you first compute for the allocated joint cost and then add the processing cost after split off. So yung computation muna ng joint cost, allocation of joint cost. Using the net realizable value for BAD, that would be 150,000 minus 50,000, 100,000 ang NRV niya. Si CAD naman ay 275 minus 75, 200,000. Si Dad, 225 minus 125 ay 100,000. Total net realizable value, 400,000. So magkano ang share or allocated cost for the three products? Si Bad, 100 over 400 or 25%. 25% of 250,000 ay 62,500. Si Kad, kalahati, kalahati, 200 over 400. So 125,000. Si Dad, pareho siya ni Bad, 62,500. O magkano ngayon yung total production cost ni Bad?
100,
Ano?
500
Ha?
po.
Okay.
100.
So 62,500 plus processing cost after split of 50, 112,500. Si Kad,
200,000 po.
and then si Dad,
187,500 po.
okay, 187,500. So ito yung karaniwang mali ng mga estudyante pag nag-exam, pag sinabing total production cost, hindi nila sinasama yung processing cost after split off. Yung 62.5, 125, tsaka 62.5, allocated joint cost lang yon up to the point of split off. So kung may further processing cost or processing cost after split off or separable cost, you add the amount to get the total production cost. Okay, next. Pareho lang naman ito nung pareho lang ito nung problem number 18, yung 20. Tapos, itong kapareho to ng isang problem. Yung 21 is similar to number 6. Similar siya sa number 6, Okay. O, doon tayo sa 22. Pag nag-end to, hindi ko na yan, Hindi ko na bubukas ulit. Yung hindi na-discuss, padala ko ulit sa inyo yung answers. You try to compute, kung paano nakuha. O, number 23. There are three products again, A, B, and C. You're given the units produced, 7,000. Walang nakalagay na amount sa share ng joint cost ni B at C. Walang nakalagay na sales value ni A and B. Total lang nakalagay. Cost after split off and sales value at final point. Assuming that joint product cost dapat to, Assuming that joint product costs are allocated using the net realizable value at split off. What joint costs were allocated to products B and C? So tignan natin itong 36,000 ni A. 36,000 ang allocated cost sa kanya, divided by total of 60,000, 60% ang allocated cost sa kanya. No. So kung ang total sales value ay 100,000, 60% ang allocated cost kay A, that means 60,000 ang sales value niya. No. So makukuha na natin yung value ni B. 60 kay A plus 15 kay C